taking a while to come on.
Oh, it's on.
Hello?
We're on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and it looks like we're live on Facebook.
All right. Hi, social media friends. This is Beata, your host, Meaningful Conversations. I'm also a coach, and I have a very special guest. Are you still hearing me?
I am.
All right. If I can hear you, oh, my niece is there. Okay, they can hear us. Okay, I have someone very, very special for you to introduce. It's Kim Ades. Well, except that she's a wonderful woman, my mentor for years, but she's very successful in her own life and in business. Kim is a founder and president of Frame of Mind coaching company and also journal software, which she will have to explain more about that. But except of that, she is also author. She speaks, and you should people hear her. She's funny and she's very engaging. I love it. Hire her if you are looking for speakers. Kim, as an executive and leadership coach, you work with people for what? More than a decade, yes? Helping them to change their life, businesses, and overall being. Is that true?
Yeah, I've been doing this for 15 years. I started it 15 years ago. I had this idea and I said, hey, I'll test it out. I'll see if it'll work. And so I started working very early on with leaders, executives, entrepreneurs, that type of person. And I was very interested in how they think, and how their thinking leads to the outcomes they're getting.
Wow.
Are you okay? Can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Thank you for the description. I have this question that I'm asked many times. Why journal? Because the way how you help oh my gosh, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I think there is some kind of delay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. Hello?
I can hear you.
Are we still live?
It looks like it, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the question is, and is the main topic of our conversation today, why journal? Because I've been asked many times how journal can help people to change anything in their life. So, and journal is a core tool for you, and you work with executives, leaders, like the top people. Can you tell just simply why journal?
So we use journaling in our coaching process, and what we do is we give them a journaling question at the beginning of the week, and they start journaling, and every time they journal, their journal goes back to their coach, who then reads and responds to their journal, and that's happening every single day. So why do we do that? Why do we use journaling as such an important part of our coaching process? I'll give you lots of reasons. Number one is, for me as a coach, in order to really be able to coach you, I need to know you. And so I find that a lot of coaches attempt to coach you without really truly knowing you. And so the journaling gives me a great deal of data that allows me to understand who you are, how you're wired, how you think, how you react in different situations, how you feel about things, how you grew up, what your values are, what your perspectives are. And that's very important for me to be able to coach you effectively. The second thing is that in your journals, you provide for me enough information for me to be able to pick up patterns of belief, patterns of thought, patterns of behavior that help me understand why sometimes you feel frustrated or stuck. And so that data is critical for me to help you in the coaching process. There's a third piece. The third piece is that when someone journals by themselves, they make a lot of progress because they unload, they put down their thoughts on paper so that now their thoughts are visible and they're able to start making some decisions on their thoughts. So journaling on your own is very, very useful. But when you journal with a coach, you're accelerating your progress at a much more rapid speed because this coach is now asking you critical questions and helping you see things that you can't see on your own. So all of a sudden, the journal becomes a very, very useful tool to help you understand how your thinking is sometimes helping you move forward and sometimes holding you back. And there's one more thing. The last thing. The last thing is that when you journal with me every single day, what happens? We build a relationship, right? We get to know each other. And from my perspective, coaching is really effective when the relationship between the coach and the client is tight and it's based on trust. Because if you don't trust me, you're not going on a journey with me. You're stopping, right? You're staying in your place. So it's very important for us to establish a very tight, intimate, connected relationship in order for us to travel to a new place. So that's the reason why journaling is so important.
That is awesome. And basically, you answer my next question because I was supposed to, I wanted to ask the difference between journaling on your own and journaling with a coach. So you basically said your transformation is gonna be much faster and you just gonna save your time and money when you will hire a coach. And what about people who never journal and often because, well, not everyone knows, but I certified in frame of mind coaching, so I use journal as well. So often people say, but I don't know how to write. I'm not a writer. And
but you're writing all the time, right? You're writing all the time. Every time you send an email, a text, every time you are reading or posting something on Facebook, you're writing all the time. And here's another thing is that you're thinking all the time. You're thinking all the time. It never stops, except most of the time you're not aware of what you're thinking and you're not aware of how your thinking is impacting you. And so the process of journaling allows you to really see, what am I thinking? Are my thoughts useful? Are they hurting me? And how are they working? How are they affecting my ability to reach my goals and live the things that I want and desire? So how is my thinking affecting me? So journaling allows you to see what you can't see by yourself.
Amen. That is so very true. And I remember during when you coach us to be a coach and during our mastermind call, often you say, okay, people, we invent stories and we invent also interpretation of this story. So can you, maybe you have an example of a client that, or an example, you have always thousands of examples. How does it work in life, this making up stories and interpretation of the stories?
So yeah, we make up stories about everything that happens to us, everything we see, everything we experience, everything we do, everything that we hear. We're interpreting absolutely everything that happens to us. And sometimes those interpretations are helpful and useful, and sometimes they're not. So I'll give you a perfect example. I was working with a client last week, and he said to me, I'm introverted. And I found that very, very interesting. And I asked him, who told you were introverted? He said, well, I became introverted when I went into junior high school. I said, what do you mean you became introverted? You weren't introverted before, but suddenly you became introverted? But you see, he used this word and he wrapped his arms around this word to keep himself safe, to keep himself protected, to say, well, so if I'm introverted, there are certain things that I don't have to do or have to participate in, and I'm just much more safe over here. The truth is, though, that he's a leader. He owns a business. He runs meetings. He has to engage with clients. And all of those things require activity or action or behavior that would not be classified as introverted. But for whatever reason, for him, the idea that he's introverted, that story he created, allows him to play a smaller game than he's capable of playing. So for me, that's very interesting. right? So we're doing that all the time. We're in so many areas of our lives. We label ourselves, we classify ourselves, we say what we're capable of and what we're not capable of, what we're willing to do, what we're not willing to do. And what I like to say is like, so where did you decide that? Where did that come from? Right? Is that a preference, or is it a belief that's holding you in a place that keeps you a lot smaller than you need to be? So I'm always interested in that.
So basically, in coaching through journaling, you ask a lot of questions, yes?
Yes, I ask a million questions.
True. That, yes. And because when you ask, you hear the answers, and it's not just for you, but also for the client.
Right.
All right. So we have a couple of people. Thank you, Isabella. Thank you, Wes, for being with us. Alfonso, as always, I love you. Thank you for supporting us. If any of you had questions to Kim, she is here. She's amazing. You cannot even imagine. Do you have any questions about your life or whatever? She is here, and she will straight you up right away in a good way. In a good way, really.
I sound like an army sergeant.
No, she is awesome. In a gentle way and very smart way, she will tell you why what you are thinking is not the truth. So, Kim, maybe it will be a little bit going back to the first question, but so what is so different about journaling as a tool from different coaching tools?
Well, so there are lots of different coaching methods out there, right? So most coaching, when you think about coaching, is really focused on helping people achieve their goals. And usually when you think about achieving a goal, you think, well, I need a plan, and then I need to take that plan and break it down into manageable components. And as a coach, I need to help that person, my coaching client, achieve all the parts of the plan. So I'll hold them accountable and make sure they do everything they need to do. And so my approach, my philosophy is that people know how to make plans, right? You know how to sit down and make a plan. We all make plans, but we don't always do what's on the plan. We don't always execute on the plan. And the reason is that there's something that holds them back. There's something to do with their thinking, their resilience, their view of themselves, their self-esteem, their self-confidence, whatever. We don't always do what we plan to do. And now the question is why? What's actually holding them back? So it's not that journaling so much. Journaling is a tool. Yes, it's a tool for helping us see how people think. But it's really, what is our approach to coaching? So for me, I'm not interested in holding people accountable to all the little parts in the plan. I'm interested in understanding why they're not executing on the plan, why they're not holding themselves accountable. What's actually preventing them from living the life they want and going for the goals they want? What's going on in the back of their minds? What's the story they're telling? What's the life they're living inside their heads that's creating such a dramatic bottleneck that prevents them from taking any action? I'm interested in that. So, and journaling allows me to access that. So it is a tool. It's not, it's a huge part of what we do, but really the philosophy is what guides it.
Right. And like I said, I was honored to be part of it as a client. So this is life transforming. It's not just coaching. So thank you for that. And well, so what are your thoughts then about journaling for like children or kids? Do you think that?
Yeah, I think kids should journal, absolutely. And it's so funny, like I have 5 kids, but 2 of my kids grew up with me from when they were born. And they see people in their environments who sometimes struggle, and the advice that they give to their friends is, you know what, you should journal. Pick up a journal, write down all the things you're grateful for, write down all the things you want, write down all your plans, write down what it might look like in a year from now when things unfold in a good way. What do you want? Let's work on your vision, right? So my kids learn this from a very young age. And what it has provided for them, and I think this is very important, is that like we live life and sometimes our day doesn't go so well. Sometimes we have a hard time. Sometimes people around us aren't so nice. Sometimes we're failing and not achieving our goals. But what journaling allows us to do is use it as a tool to redirect, to point ourselves in the direction that we want to go, and to kind of lay down, okay, fine, here we are. We're putting it down. The bad day's done. I don't have to live that bad day over and over and over again. I can put it down and turn myself towards the direction I want to be going. And that's what journaling allows us to do. And if we can teach kids to do that at a young age, we're really truly giving them a very powerful tool to help them manage their emotional state. And I would say that those people who have the ability to manage their emotional state tend to achieve much, much more in life than others.
That is beautiful because, well, kids is our future generation that we're gonna rely on basically. So let's teach these little humans emotional resilience. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So what is emotional resilience? Emotional resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity with speed and agility, and actually turn that adverse experience into something positive. Do something good with it. Leverage it, right? So yes, we want to teach our kids that, yeah, sometimes you're going to have a bad day. Doesn't mean you have to sit in that bad day forever. Like, let's give you the skills that enable you to get up after your bad day and continue on your way.
I don't know if we have time for that, but I love the example you always were giving to us about your daughter, how you taught her, how you coached her when she was a little to be independent thinker, basically. How she does not probably need to rely on anyone's decision because she's more decisive. Can you?
Yeah, I'll give you a few examples. So when she was little, every day we would make lunch together. I would make the sandwich, she would make the snacks. And every day we had the same conversation. Mom, how many cookies should I take with me to school today? And my answer was always the same. How many cookies do you think you should take today? And she would be surprised that I would give her the freedom to decide. And one might think that that's a terrible idea. Why would I give my kid the right to choose how many cookies? They're going to take a million cookies. But she would rationalize it. Well, I want to eat too, but my friend, Julie, her mother doesn't let her bring cookies, so I want to share with her. And sometimes I like to trade with another friend. Okay, so however many you want, start making decisions. I always wanted to give my kids the ability to make decisions as early on as possible in life. But let me give you another example. One day we were standing at the counter cutting strawberries together. And she was not very old. She was young. I gave her a knife and she was cutting the strawberries and she cut her hand and it was bleeding everywhere. So we stopped. We took care of the cut, we cleaned it up, we put on a Band-Aid. And then I said to her, okay, we have more strawberries to cut. Let's continue. And she was completely shocked. She thought that I would stop her. She made a mistake. In her mind, it was a big mistake. So then she should be removed from the task. But I didn't remove her from the task. I put her right back in the task. Wow. And I said, we have work to do. Come on, we have strawberries to cut, right? And what I was really saying to her is, I still trust you. And I still believe in you. And I see you made a mistake, but we make mistakes sometimes. Not a big deal. Are you okay? Do you feel okay? Let's continue.
That is beautiful. I love it. Parents, please listen to it. Let's make your partners or husband listen to it. Anyone, please, because she is just giving us this gold nugget for creating and teaching these little humans to be independent.
Yeah, independent, self-confident, feel good about themselves. But now my daughter, she's 20 years old, and I had a very, very funny conversation with her yesterday. So she called me. We talk pretty close every day. She lives in another city, so she doesn't live with me. And she said, I was going to call you before because I got invited to a party and I wanted to ask you if you think I should go. But I knew what you were going to say, so I just said yes. And I thought to myself, okay, that's interesting. My voice is in her head and I'm not even with her, but that's not the point. Who cares what I have to say? Why does she need to ask me?
Right? Yeah.
So, it's an ongoing process to help our kids feel like they don't need to ask us. They don't need our opinion. They can make a decision on their own, right? So that's part A. And part B is sometimes we want them to ask us. We want them to ask for our opinion, and to know that asking our opinion doesn't mean that they have to take it, that there's a conversation that we can have and still the decision stays with them.
That is brilliant, but you know that you are brilliant. Thank you so very much. I have Isa, she said, oh, I love it. And she said, where can I find questions to start? But Isa, I don't understand what you mean to start what? Journaling or?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, okay.
I think she's asking about journaling prompts. Is that right? Am I getting a thumbs up?
Isa, tell us, is it about the journaling prompts, the questions, how to journal, or what is it?
Okay, so I'll tell you where to start.
Yeah.
Let me tell you where to start. So one of the most powerful journaling questions that you can start with is, first of all, take a piece of paper and a pencil and write them down. The first question you want to ask yourself is, what do I really, really want? And not what do you want because you think you should want it, or what do you want because somebody else wants it for you, or what your parents want for you. What does your heart really, truly want? What do you want deep inside? And the second question is, so what's stopping me from having that right now? And so you want to write all the list, the whole entire list of reasons why you don't have what you want right now. And sometimes what you want is tangible things, like I want a brand new car. And sometimes it's not so tangible, like I want to be in a great relationship, or I want to have a healthy body. But you want to write down all the reasons why you don't have what you want. And then you want to look at those reasons and start to understand that behind those reasons are the beliefs that you have that are holding you back. And then you want to start challenging each one of them. So if, let's say I say, well, I want to start a new business. One of the reasons I can't start a new business is I don't have money. So you want to start to ask a question. Is it true that there's no money available to me? Is it true that there's no money out there? Is it true that I don't have access to money? Is it true then that I don't deserve money? What is the truth? And what we might find is, right, we might find is actually there's an unlimited source of money out there, but something's stopping me from accessing it. What's up with that?
This is one of my favorites because it's how we started, and it was hard at the beginning to reply, like, oh my God, because all the stories that we tell ourselves, why not? Isa said, thank you, is what I was asking for, thank you. And Kim, where people can follow you, reach out to you, how they can find you, and more about frame of mind coaching.
Before I do, I want to just tell people a little bit about you. Because I don't know how many years I've known you, but oh my God, how much you have grown and changed over the years. So you used to hide. And I remember one conversation we had where you said, I'm not confident with my English, so I don't want to speak in front of people. And look at you now.
That's true.
Look at you now. You're on stage, you're on social media, you're on video, and you're talking and talking and talking, and nobody's holding you back. So I'm excited to be your guest. I'm excited to see how much and how far you've come. I'm watching you and learning from your social media expertise. You're the queen.
And thank you so much.
And for all of your followers, Beata is a super special person, and she's a person who does the work and walks the walk. So she's not just talking, right? She takes everything she learns, she absorbs it, and she applies it. So I'm very, very proud of you and super honored to be your guest.
Thank you so very much. When I joined Frame of Mind Coaching years ago, I would never think that I will speak to the camera. I wanted to give a testimonial, I remember, to you, and I don't know, camera, no, I don't want to talk. My English, my accent, no. Yes, so yes, I thank you so very much. I would not get here without you. So you are awesome, and you are someone who I always look up to, because you give me the strength to walk the walk. So thank you.
Keep walking. So you asked me, where can people find me? Go to frameofmindcoaching.com, look us up. Look around the site. We have podcasts, articles, videos. We have a complimentary coaching call if you're interested in learning more about frame of mind coaching. But we're on social media. You can look me up. It's Kim Ades, Ades. We're everywhere. So just look for us. You'll find us.
And I will post all links under the video so people can easily reach out to you. And please do, because she's amazing. Her team is amazing. I don't have enough words probably to say how great they are and how my life changed because of them. So thank you
for
thank you very much. I was like, oh, all memories like coming. Oh my gosh. Okay. So thank you so very much. Thank you all of our listeners and everyone who's watching. Please share about meaningful conversations because I want to bring more meaning into your life. If you have more meaning in your life, you will have more meaningful relationships, I believe. And Frank, Nikki just joined. Thank you so much. Please listen to the replay and leave a comment, replay. Again, reach out to Kim and her team. They are amazing. Invite her for your podcast. She is brilliant. So thank you so very much. See you next week. Bye-bye.
I think we're still live.
How do I stop it then?